friends, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Vicki and you're with Grammy in the kitchen. We're going to cook a delicious crock-pot chicken dish. And while that is cooking, we're going to come back into this room. This is my pantry. And we're going to organize it. It needs to be organized so bad. I am planning on doing the Three Rivers Challenge on January 1, which is tomorrow, on using our pantry items and our freezer items without buying anything to supplement. There's only a few things that we will be buying this month, and that would be eggs and commercial bread, because my husband does like commercial bread for his sandwiches when he takes them to work. But the way it goes is you make up your own rules. So if you don't want to buy anything, don't buy anything. If you want to buy fresh raw vegetables or meat, you do what you need to do for your family. I'm going into this challenge wholeheartedly for the whole 31 days of January of using only my pantry and my freezers, except for the eggs and the bread that my husband wants. What he wants for himself personally is okay. But for me and the meals we eat together will come from this room only. So, without further ado, aprons on, let's go back into the kitchen and get started on that delicious meal. I pulled out the crock pot and I took out some chicken legs that we had in the freezer. I am sporting the bad hair because I'm just going to get messy in the pantry. So let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to be making a crock pot chicken and rice dinner. This is a recipe I found on the internet. It's called Simply Recipes. So we got the chicken thighs. We need oil, onion, cumin, cinnamon, garlic, basmati rice, can of diced tomatoes, some chicken stock, pepper, and bay leaves. So that's what this concoction is. So let me get this out of the way so we can get started on the onions and the garlic. So this recipe actually starts on the stovetop because we have to cook our onions and garlic and the chicken thighs on the stovetop. Then we mix everything together and we'll put it in the crock pot. Grabbing my freezer scrap bag. So do y'all have any plans today on New Year's Eve? We don't. We don't go out. We don't do any of the fun things. We're just going to stay home. And if we're awake, we'll watch the ball drop in New York on the television. But if we're not awake, New Year's coming anyway. So I'm going to dice this onion super, super small. Like I've told y'all before, the husband does not mind onions if he's not biting into a raw, chunky onion. So I accommodate him. Ooh, that is a potent onion. So are y'all planning on doing Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead's challenge for the you try to use and rotate through the items that are in your pantry and freezer? You make your rules that fits your family. It doesn't have to be 100% what you have on hand. Like I said last week in the video, that there are certain things that my husband does request, and that's the hard-boiled eggs and commercial bread for his sandwiches that he takes to lunch. But the meals, the rest of the meals will be strictly pantry meals. I don't know if that's 1 clove or 2 cloves. I think it's 1 clove. Wow, the thing is huge. No, it's 2. It's 1 big one and 1, nope, it's 3. I actually put a whole garlic clove in my scrap bag. Take that out. This recipe doesn't call for carrots, but I do have some carrots in my refrigerator. I think I'm going to add just 1 carrot to this dish. And you know how we do things around here. We tweak the recipe just a bit. This recipe does not call for coconut milk, but I will be adding it to ours. And it didn't call for carrots, but I feel like I want a carrot in it today. I've never done this recipe before, so this is a new one for us. When my kids were little and still in school, I would make Crockpot meals all the time. But since it became just the husband and myself, I pretty much got away from Crockpot meals. But I do want to get back into utilizing my Crockpot. So I'm going to dice these really small also. So I figured this was be the perfect opportunity to work on my pantry, get it organized, and if whatever I don't finish today, I can finish tomorrow on New Year's. Okay, so I took out 1 bag that had the separated legs, the drumsticks from the thighs, then that had 3 of each, and then I took out a bag that had them still connected. So I do need to separate those. And this one also still has a backbone on it, and you know we're not going to waste that backbone. If you don't have any kitchen shears in your house, I highly suggest pick up a pair. They come in handy so often. You know we're not going to throw that away. We're actually going to put that piece of the backbone right into our scrap bag. Five of each, the thighs and the drumsticks, to use for dinner tonight, and we'll have leftovers tomorrow. If y'all don't notice, I've been wearing a new apron. This is the apron my daughter and her husband got me for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. Okay, we got our pieces. Let me go ahead and wash my hands up. Scrap bag goes back in the freezer. I'm putting a little bit of olive oil in the large cast iron skillet that heats up. We're going to put our onions and the carrots in there. Let that saute, and then we'll add our garlic. In the meantime, we need to add some salt and pepper to our chicken. give that a toss. Like I said, this will be plenty for the husband and myself to have for 2 days. Tomorrow being New Year's Day, this will be our dinner tomorrow also. Go ahead and get our onions and carrots in. Like I've said before, you don't add salt if you're caramelizing, but we are not going to caramelize. We're actually trying to cook these onions. So I am adding salt. I'm going to go ahead and add some pepper. I'm going to use my new wooden spatula that I got for Christmas from our daughter. Now we just want to cook those until the onions are translucent. That already smells really good. So I have the big crock pot right here. I'm going to add the 2 cups of basmati rice. We only need 1.5 cups of the chicken stock because the chicken will render out some more liquid. And plus our diced tomatoes has water in it also. We're going to go ahead and add that in there. It says 1 cup. I'm doing a whole can. And part of my tweaking, I am adding a can of green chilies because I love those. It already looks good and it's not even done, not even cooked. I love tomatoes, green chilies, and rice. They're starting to get a little color to them. Let's go ahead and add our garlic. You need to put one teaspoon. This is a ½ teaspoon measuring. So 1 teaspoon of cumin, a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. So we're going to toast that in there with the onions. Just to bring out the flavor, because some spices are oil soluble, which means they need to be toasted in some oil. We had oil in here with our onions and our carrots, so we're just going to toast that up for just about a minute. That smells really good. Now we're going to add the onions and the carrots and the spices in the pot with the rice. Let's give that a stir. Put all the goodness in there. I'm going to go ahead and put it on low. We're going to do it for 5 hours. But in the meantime, we're going to get back to the stove and brown our chicken. Putting a little bit more olive oil in there. And we do need to add 2 bay leaves to our crock pot. So I have 2 bay leaves going in. I'm going to start with the chicken legs, the drumsticks. We're just going to put a sear on the chicken legs and the thighs because we're not going to cook it all the way through because we're actually going to finish it in the crock pot with the rice. That is all we're going to do to the drumsticks. Now we need to get the thighs in. We're going to put skin side down. Now we're going to add our drumsticks to our rice. Just going to lay them right on top. We're not going to move them. We want that skin to get a nice crisp to it. Now, when you're cooking chicken with the skin on, do not force it off of the cast iron skillet. You pick it up and it's still sticking, it is not ready. So this one, loosen very easily. That one, not so much. That one, nope, nope, nope. So they need to cook for a little bit longer. They will release when they're ready. Let the chicken talk to you. Don't boss the chicken around. See, the chicken told me when it was ready to be turned. So I'm going to cook it on this side for a few minutes, and then we're going to put this in the crock pot also. We're taking the thighs out. Like I said, they are not cooked all the way. And we're not going to waste this deliciousness. It's nothing but flavor. So I'm adding a little bit of chicken stock. When I say a little bit, it's probably less than a quarter of a cup. And we'll get in here and scrape the bits and pieces. This is going to go in our crock pot also. That is nothing but flavor right there, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but flavor. Let's go ahead and put our thighs in there. Going to be a little bit crowded, but that's okay. Any juices left on here, we're going to scrape in there. We're going to put the lid on it. We're going to let it cook for 5 hours. We're going to check the temperature of the chicken. It needs to reach 165 degrees in the medius part of the thigh. And then we're going to check the doneness of the rice. Once that's done, I'm going to add a can of coconut milk just to add another depth of flavor. So while this is cooking, let's go do the pantry. So welcome to my pantry. This is actually a bedroom that once our daughter moved in with her husband, we decided to turn this room into a pantry. So for the last 2 years, 2 years. For the last 2 years, this has been a pantry, and it is a mess. So I have some shelves. Got 2 shelves. There's one there and one here, and it's full of home canned and store-bought food. I have some tubs right there that have some spices and some other things. Got some turkey stock and chicken stock right there that I need to find room on the shelf for. And that dresser is actually going to be going to my son and daughter-in-law very soon. We just have to load it up and move it out. That is an old dresser that I took the drawers off and made some shelves. I need to move that into a new place. I've got some more buckets over there as well as down there. And that has 5-pound bags of Mylar flour. My sun oven is right there. That is junk. And of course I got TP and paper towels. This is some bathroom essentials, and some more bathroom essentials is on the top one. And then we have drink packets that the husband and I like. I have some empty jars over there I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. I have some more buckets over here with food. And this shelf right here, it's not very good, but I have paper towels and toilet paper on top. My canner is right there. My 32 quart stock pot's there. My grain meal, my wheat berry mill, grain mill, whatever you want to call it, is right there. That is my brand new 22 quart roaster. Some vacuum seal bags, and down at the bottom, that's the box where my pots and pan came from, but it has my old set in there. On the bottom, you can't see, but I have some empty jars, some backup paper plate items here, and just more stuff. But I need to get this room organized. And over there on that shelf right there is where all my bulk spices, and it's also some on the top. And then of course I have the two freezers. I have a 5 cube and a 7 cube freezer. I used to keep them organized where meat was on one, vegetable, cheese, and fruit on the other one. But now I just put whatever needs to be whatever. So yeah, let's get in here and organize this. Oh, and as you walk in the door, I have some more buckets. I have a bag of rice I need to put in a bucket. And then I got some 1-gallon jars on this shelf with stuff on it. Alright, let me just get to it. In this bucket I have all of my pastas and tortillas. Get that organized into one box. Oh yeah, we did it. Alright, let's move that aside for right now. And I need to work on that shelf right there. I'm going to move all of my broth to this very far corner, because it's easy access, but it's not in the way of the other shelves. So I'm going to go ahead and move that over here. It's a good thing I'm doing this, because a lot of this we did in September, but I just found this right here was in July, and I need to be using that one first. And I do have a case of store-bought, well, it's not really store-bought, I got them from Azure. I'm actually going to put those over there also. Okay, so we have to be a good steward of what the Lord has provided us. So as I'm putting this stock away, I realize that this organic stock that I got from Azure expires, or best use date of March of 2023. So I need to make sure I use that first. So I just put a date on it right there so I know that I need to use that first. That way it's in my face and I can see it. And the reason I have a 3-tier spice collection is because I keep one in the kitchen ready to go. Whatever doesn't fit in the kitchen, I keep in a quart-sized jar. And then I have a backup in one of these buckets over here. So the next time I grind some pepper, and this is just peppercorns, I'm going to have to empty the one in my backup to put in here, which means I know I need to order another backup. Have y'all ever made your own vanilla using alcohol? This was a silver spiced rum that I just put some vanilla beans in. I did this in March of 22. And look at the color. It's beautiful. I got some more vanilla beans that I'm going to infuse in some more alcohol for Christmas presents next year of 2023. So this is mine, and we're going to make some more for gifts. But if you haven't tried it, if you haven't tried making your own, it's so easy, and it's ingredients I know what's in here. It's just rum and vanilla beans. So all of that is our home canned chicken stock and turkey stock, and it's 6 deep, 4 wide, so that's 24, 25, 26 quarts plus a pint. And then I've got 9 quarts of the store-bought. So the difference between the store-bought and the homemade is that didn't cost me nothing. Only the gas it took to cook it and can it. The bones were from when we made chicken or turkey, and the vegetables is our freezer scraps. So that didn't cost me anything. That does. I need to use that because it expires on March of 23. That's going to be first. Then I have some 7/21s or July 21s in there. I need to use those next. Then I can go on to the other ones. We need to be a good steward. Things in our pantry. If not, these are items that will go to waste. It would be a waste of money and a waste of time. So we don't want to do any of that. We want to use what the Lord has provided us so that we don't waste nothing. That's why I'm in here organizing this room today. So come January 1 and we start this pantry challenge, I know what I have, what I can cook, and what I need to use first. I think I'm going to put all my spices on this shelf right next to the stock, so it's more of an eye level and I can see it better. I have these beautiful old antique canning jars. They're a half-gallon. Patty, I just want to say thank you. I love my jars. This is just beautiful. I have a couple of these. It's another one of those old jars. They're blue. They're just beautiful. So the sun oven is going to go on the top shelf, just to get it off of the floor. Perfect. Perfect. It's starting to come together very, very slowly. So I have quart size and gallon size Mylar bags, and this is 100 cc's oxygen absorbers. The eyeball is still pink, which is what we want. Okay, it's been 2 hours. Please ignore the hair. It has been 2 hours since we put the dinner in the crock pot. So I noticed that the rice was getting a little dry. So I went ahead and put the rest of that quart of chicken stock in there. While I was on this shelf right down here, I saw some remnants of rodents. You know what I'm talking about. So I heard that if you just put a couple bay leaves around in your pantry room, it's supposed to keep out the rodents. So I went into the kitchen, grabbed me a couple bay leaves, and I'm going to put them out throughout this room. Cannot afford to lose my pantry to rodents or weevils or any kind of invasive pest. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that counter down, and I put the bay leaves down. Now we're sitting on the floor. Alright, so on this shelf, which is the bottom shelf, I do have room underneath to store things. Got another case of chicken stock that has 9 on it. I want to make sure I use the Pacific store-bought, Azure-bought, and I want to make sure I use the ones that have July on it before I use any of the 9s, which is September. Alright, so on this shelf, I have my backup salt, and I have a little bit left in here. I have buttermilk powder and an A2 powder milk. Some my sweet chocolate chips and bittersweet chocolate chips. We're going to put that here. I have some craisins. And I have some black beans, some almonds, and I might as well go ahead and store my vinegar here. And I think I'll put my oils here. Back there, I have 11 jars of home canned coleslaw. It's good, but I don't need that many. If y'all could think of something I can use it with, a recipe or a suggestion, I would greatly appreciate it. I just need to get this used. I did this, I think it was January 2022, so it's a year old now. I need to use it. That's not being a good steward of your supplies. Alright, so over here I have pizza sauce. I do have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 12 cans. But once I'm done with those, I'm going to start making my own pizza sauce. I have tomato paste, and I've got a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 29 cans of tomato paste. So I think I'm okay there. I do have 2 cans of tomato sauce and 2 cans of diced tomatoes. But underneath, right there, underneath, I have a backup. So when I run out of this and I bring that out, then I know I need to order more tomatoes. On this, I have some peaches, some black beans. I know it's random that black beans is in here, but I will use those in recipes. I have some applesauce, some cinnamon and regular applesauce all the way back. I have a couple jars of pineapple orange marmalade that I need to use as soon as possible. I've got some butternut squash. I only have 4 of those. And then I have some sliced peaches over here. Homemade strawberry jelly. Store-bought strawberry jelly. Grape jelly, and peanut butter. So that's good. On this shelf, I have some home canned tomatoes. There I only have 4 of those left. But I'm okay because I have some store-bought canned tomatoes. I've got 3 jars of spaghetti sauce. After that's gone, I'm not going to buy tomato sauce. I will make my own. And I have some whole fire roasted tomatoes. I have 5 cans of those, and these are really good in a tomato soup. Oh my god, it's so good. This right here I got from, I think it was Lidl's, um, when they were on sale because they were soon to be expired. It does say. Next time I need to make spaghetti or pizzas, I'm going to use this just to get rid of it. So I'll be making spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce with this 2 containers of strained tomatoes. I have refried beans and I have some baked beans. Over here is some home canned soup. The husband loves bean and bacon, so I made bean and bacon, and I made myself a couple vegetable, like bean and vegetable, just doesn't have bacon in it. Up here I have lots of canned potatoes. I have a few cans of chicken, and I have some pork barbecue, some chili, some beef stew, and some sloppy joes. I have 1 jar of salsa left. I've got 3 jars of ketchup. And then when I made the barbecue, when I canned the barbecue, you were with me when I did that. We had some leftover barbecue sauce, so I went ahead and canned that also. And I forgot about that. So it's a good thing we're doing this because now I know I got barbecue sauce up here. Now to tackle the bottom. Like I said, I had backup of diced tomatoes and tomato sauce. I have 2 cases of diced tomatoes, and they expire. Best use date September 24. I need to write that on there. Got my handy pen. What did I say? And then this one is 9/24. I will definitely go through this before September 24th. And then my green chilies of 23. I have bought 3 of these because for 3 months straight I tried to get them and they were out of stock. So I bought 3 of them. And I will use them. No problem at all. Okay, so that's that. Put my pasta back under here. I can already tell I need some more olive oil. And some more avocado oil. This is palm oil. Vinegar I am okay on because I have some in my car also. And apple cider vinegar I'm okay. I do need to fill my coconut oil in the kitchen, so I'm going to leave that out. Honey, we're okay, and maple syrup, we're okay. Guess I'll put my backup saran wrap and aluminum foil also on this top shelf. Perfect. Starting to see a floor. Very, very slowly. So, right there, I have 16 5-pound Mylar bags of flour. So that gives me 80 pounds of flour. So when I buy flour in the 50-pound bag. And then I fill up my kitchen, 2 containers in the kitchen with flour. Then I fill my 5-gallon bucket, which will hold about 30 pounds. So whatever is left over from filling those up, I put them in Mylar bags to stick it over there. Just in case there's a time when I can't get flour, I know I have a backup. So every time I buy a 50-pound, I fill my 5-gallon bucket, I fill up the kitchen, and then I put them in Mylar bags. Alright, I need to fill up my jasmine rice. And I put 2 bay leaves in with the rice also. Label it. Okay, back to work. Stupid question. How many rings, canning rings, does a person need? I have them there, and I have them right there. They're both wide mouth and regular mouth. I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't know how many I need, because once you can, you take them off. I don't know if I need that many. And over here I just put them in these mesh bags. I've lost a potato. When I buy produce, I just put them in these mesh bags. So I have white potatoes, yams, onions, and garlic. And I just keep them hanging up right here. So I went in the kitchen and I grabbed some more bay leaves. Just gonna strategically put them in this room. We're done. I actually have a floor. I have all of my buckets tucked away. I have some over there. I have some over here, and I have some over there. My shelves are organized. Miscellaneous shelf is also organized. Those are some buckets right there. Got a new home for my mallard bag flour. Didn't touch this area, that was okay. I have some buckets here. These are my shopping baskets when I come in here to shop for cooking. Are organized. And I know what I need to use, what I need to buy, what I have. Dinner is still cooking. It still has about another hour and a half, but I think it might even take a little longer than that because the rice is nowhere near to be ready. Alright, so put it on high because the rice was not cooking fast enough for me. But for the last hour, I had it cooking on high. I am going to go ahead and take out the chicken for right now. The chicken is done. It is reading 170 degrees, so I know they're done. And I just want to finish this rice up really quick. Give that a stir. Go ahead and pull out the bay leaves as we see them. There's another one right there. Okay, 2 bay leaves are out. Add a can of coconut milk. That thickness right there on the top. Oh, so beautiful. Let's stir that in. Let's give it a taste and see if it needs any salt or pepper. Definitely needs salt and pepper. But that's really good. rice is cooked perfect. The vegetables in there are perfect. Oh, that is a lot of food. Probably could have done 1 cup of rice. Alright, we're going to plate this up. It is dinner time. So we have our rice and our chicken thighs. This would be great to serve with some Brussels sprouts or broccoli or even just a side salad. So let me break off a piece of chicken. Perfectly cooked, not dry. It's moist, it's delicious. Let's try some rice. The carrots still have a little bite to them, which I know the husband is not going to like, but the coconut milk and the green chilies just put it over a whole nother level. Well, I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me while we made a delicious chicken rice crock-pot meal. So dinner can be cooking for us while we worked on that pantry. The pantry has been neglected for about 6 months or so. I just kept throwing things in there. But with the Three Rivers Challenge coming up, starting tomorrow, I knew I had to get in there and figure out what we had, what we need to use up as soon as possible. And you gave me the encouragement to do it, and I do appreciate it. I do still need to tackle the freezers that are in there, in addition to the refrigerator freezer right here to my right. But that's another day. So tomorrow we are starting hashtag 3 Rivers Challenge. So join me along with Jessica from the 3 Rivers Homestead and other YouTubers out there that are also doing it. So just to find all the pantry challenges and the 3 Rivers Challenge, just hashtag 3 Rivers Challenge, and it'll pull up everybody who is participating, who's taking the challenge serious, who's using their pantries to use up things that need to be used, to cycle through, to rotate, to see what we need. So until next time, y'all have a wonderful day and Happy New Year, and I'll see you tomorrow.